Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes. Yeah. Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
You better follow me.
Follow us at BLPA Big Show on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones and Trish at Trish Dangle.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. I hope everyone did have a good week. Lots of exciting things today. A special show for you. Special edition. I'll tell you about that in just 1 second. But first, you can follow us at the BLPA. I know the intro said BLPA Big Show. I just don't have the skills to change it, so that's just what it is. You can find me at Nicker Jones on Twitter and the Nicker Jones on Instagram. And Trish and Dan are not with us today. That's why the show is special. But first, we have to talk about our sponsors. This show is brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, ow, ow! Oh, by the way, April, you're supposed to howl whenever we say HockeyWolf.com. So how about you give Hockey Wolf your best howl?
Ow!
Ooh, solid. That's a solid first effort. I like that. HockeyWolf.com. They're just a bunch of beer leaguers like us. They have pro shops in the Pacific Northwest, but they can ship anywhere you want. So if you want a good deal on gear, on team wear, anything like that, HockeyWolf.com. Ow, ow, ow.
Ow!
There we go. And they have some special BLPA stuff. So check them out. Great guys over there at Hockey Wolf. But anyway, you know, sometimes things change a lot, but they also stay the same. And this is kind of a reunion show. Like, I guess I would be the lead singer. April would be the guitar player. The drummer, right? April's the drummer. And then like our bass player, just who knows what they're doing. They're not with us. So the two main parts right here, the show. If you guys have followed myself through the years, Beer League Talk, this is April of Beer League Talk. April, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah,
Wow.
I only brought you back so we could talk about going in April's box again, which we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we will.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we did, 200 episodes of Beer League Talk? Like, it was a thing for a while.
Oh, my God, did we really?
Well, yeah, and you know what was hilarious about Beer League Talk is that we literally had one of our listeners, like maybe at like show like 170 or something like that. They said, you know, this show is probably only going to go 200 and then be done. And then we literally went to 200 and it was done. Not by our own design, but
200 is a lot though. Like that's what, like 4 years?
Yeah. 4 years of shows. I mean, we cranked
I
them
mean,
out.
I believe that's above the average, is it not?
Well, they say that the average, now listen, I'm not the guy that knows everything about podcasting, but I do read a little bit. And they did say that an average podcast doesn't make it past episode 7.
Yeah.
So we did it. I mean, we were a thing. Like
we blew it out of the water.
Yeah. People were bringing us, like, I remember like Anaheim Ducks brought me down to make a Beer League Talk team. And then we went to the Walleye Chop. Like people knew us. We were known quantities in the beer league world because of Beer League Talk. That's gone, but replaced by the BLPA, which is way bigger and way better already a year and a half in. And I got to, obviously I'm going around doing tournaments. Just, that's my life. It's been my life. And April came and played with us this weekend. We'll talk about that. But first, I want to get to April's box. We're not together, so I can't actually get in April's box. April's going to have to go into her own box, and she's going to have to reach into her own box, and she's going to do the mouth hug this week. And mouth hugs are reserved for Patreon members. So if you want to help the show get better, we have a lot of people that do, and they support us on Patreon. Let's not forget the hockey or the beer league gods. April, you'll probably remember both of these, Mr. Null and Mr. Minch, both still supporting what I'm doing, which is great. But anyone else can come on and at a certain level, you get a mouth hug. And this one's special. It's from April. She doesn't just go around and give out mouth hugs anymore. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Your life, April.
Straight from the box.
Yes. She's mouth hugging from the box. And she's gonna give the mouth hug right now. So April, are you ready? Okay, we're gonna honor Mo, who's a Patreon subscriber over.
Do I know Mo?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, is that the same Mo?
Yeah.
Is there only one?
The only one I know. Patreon.
Nice.
Patreon.com/BLPA. So Mo if you're out there and you're listening, I need you to sit back. I need you to relax. I need you to close your eyes and let April give you a mouth hug.
We have a new Patreon named Mo. A hell of a hockey player, you know. She plays with a long stick. With those things, she trips. Questionable rhyming. And she's always looking for a 5-hole.
Yay, Mo. Hey, what sticks and trips are close enough on a rhyme? Listen,
For the record, this is not my rhyming scheme.
I wrote it. And I don't even remember what did it say? We have a new patron named Mo. A hell of a hockey player, you know. She plays with long sticks. With those things, she trips. And she's always aiming 5-hole. Like that's what you're gonna get. That's what
she's
you're gonna
always
get.
looking 5-hole.
Oh, she's always looking 5. Same thing. Same aiming, looking.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
But anyway,
maybe
Mo.
I didn't hear it right in my head.
Mo.
Sorry, Mo.
Well, I mean, when I'm the one
Glad to have
writing
you
it,
aboard.
yeah. When I'm the one that writing it, and then I give it to you and don't read it to you, like I get it. Hey, you know what? Hell of a mouth hug. You know, she probably feels warm and fuzzy inside because of our mouse. That's what we're going for. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon, Mo. We really appreciate it. Anyone else wants to get a mouth hug? And, you know, if we need to make April the official mouth hugger, we can probably figure that out. You're just going to have to donate to make it happen. So, so April's back playing hockey. She lives in Canada, don't you know? Can we talk about that you might not live in Canada for long?
We'll subject it.
But she was in the States this week playing hockey.
I snuck in.
So, yeah, she snuck in. She defected. So we're going to talk about that. But let's hit it since we're going to talk about Dex and the draft. We might as well hit him with the draft intro. April, check this out.
Life is one big hockey game here in Draftburg. Cold beer, slap shots, body pain. It's a Dex blur. Now that we're sober, let's talk it over. Dex Tales. Woo.
Oh, you didn't hear the intro music?
No.
Oh, well.
Oh, that was great. Oh, I love it.
it was our Dex Tales, you know, sung to the tune of DuckTales.
Oh.
So you'll have to listen back to yourself to hear the intro song.
Nice.
But
what a great song.
Great song. So we're gonna get into our Dex Tales. This past weekend we were in Seattle, the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and I'm not gonna keep people in suspense too long. I was going into and I am going out of an A champion still. Won it all again. Same thing.
2 in a row?
Yeah. Same thing I did last time. Yeah, but same thing I did last time to old Randy's team in Madison for the military Dex. Randy beat our team in the round robin play. We played a little rope-a-dope, let them think that they had us, and then we came back and beat them in the A championship. This weekend, same thing. We scored in a game against them. We scored the fastest goal in Dex history, 8 seconds. And those guys were like, they're going to stomp us. And then we didn't score again the rest of the game. They scored 3 goals in like 2.5 minutes. They beat us 3-1. So we just rope-a-doped them. Mm-hmm. And then we came out in the A championship and just took it to them. Ended up beating them 6-3, 6-4, something like that. Ref felt bad for him.
In the final?
Yeah, 6-4. Ref gave him a 5-on-3 in the last 3 minutes and let him score a couple goals. You know, just make it close. But I'm still an A champion. But enough about me, April. You know, I don't like to talk about myself. You've been around me long enough to know that. Let's hear about you. I mean, you haven't played hockey since I would guess when they shut down hockey in Calgary back in November, right? Or September, something.
Yep.
So, I mean, how does an athlete like yourself keep themselves in such prime physical shape, not playing hockey for so long? And
you know, I like to break it down into first quarantine and second quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
First quarantine, I was on it. I was jumping around my living room like an asshole, doing squats and lunges, riding my bike, all that good stuff, keeping in shape. And then I'm not going to say it was because I came to America for Christmas, but I'm not going to say that it wasn't. But it all went off the rails after that.
Well,
I was barely getting in a walk. I have zero cardio left. And I haven't played since November. And first weekend back, 5 games on Olympic size ice.
mm-hmm. How'd that body
It
feel?
was not pretty.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. It was more like the blood pooling in my lungs. That was the issue.
You know, it's funny because like I'm here in Calgary and I only got to leave last year and go play in our tournaments in the States. And I can remember like our first one was in March that we ever did. And then that's when they shut down and we didn't get to go back until July. And I remember like in June, my wife saying like, don't you think that maybe you should maybe get out and, you know, jog or walk? Cause you've done nothing. And she's like, and I'm not trying to be rude, but like your age is advancing and heart attacks are a real thing. And I said, I should do that. I don't want to. But I did.
But you should.
Yeah, I did do it. But the problem is like, I wasn't even like jogging. I was trotting. Like I like gallop.
Oh, you actually went for a run?
Yeah. Not even a jog. It was less than a jog. It was
a fast walk.
Yes. A trot and, galloping like a horse, I guess. And I did something to my calf while I was doing that. And I couldn't walk for like 3 days. And I was like, fuck this. This is the stupidest thing. So basically that like people are always like, well, even my dad, he's like, when are you going to stop playing hockey? Like you're getting old. I'm like, never, because if I stop playing hockey, I will do nothing else. I will literally sit around and it'll be done. So I'm just going to have to keep going. And hopefully there's no more like shutdowns, because if there are shutdowns, I know me, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to eat the same way I eat when I'm playing, 9 hockey games a week. But I'm not going to get that exercise in, but I'm glad you survived.
Yeah, barely.
Well, I mean, you made it. Well, tell us a little bit about your experience. You've never played. I mean, you've played in like the last company I was with, and this draft experience is a little different, but still the same, but a little different. So tell us a little bit about the experience. Like, what did you like? What did you not like? And all that good stuff.
Well, our team, we had probably the highest ratio of ladies, I believe, for all the teams, which is nice. I got to meet this new girl, Natasha, she's nice and young and she's very good. So she played forward pretty much and defense for us the whole time, covering all of our asses, which was great.
She's fast. She's really fast.
Yeah, she's real good.
Yeah.
And, we had a little bit of a slow start. We had some upset people kind of trying to gel for the first couple games, a couple larger blowouts for our first 2 games, but we kind of put it together and started winning for the second 2. And then we blew it in the final, the B final, in a shootout in which I was also one of the shooters.
Yeah,
so,
you did not bury. You were close.
I did not. No, I wasn't close at all. It wasn't close. That was a big goalie. I didn't know where to shoot.
I'm trying to play you up. I'm trying to play you up, April. Trying to play you up here.
I scored another breakaway goal accident,
well,
but
for me, they're all accidents. So it doesn't really matter.
I just close my eyes and pray.
But you want to know
what's gonna find something.
You know what's crazy about your team is like you mentioned there were some people that were upset. The first couple games you got blown out, and I always tell people, like, they came to me and I'm like, listen, like the first game and even the second game, they're the hardest games here because you don't know anybody. Like, you don't know these people that you're playing with. So how can you have chemistry passing? It's always the teams that can put the passing together the quickest.
Yeah.
So if you come and you happen to get on friends' teams, then you have an advantage because you're that much. And it's crazy to think how slow you started on those first 2 games. And then if my team would have lost the first game Sunday, your team would have been in the A final.
Yeah.
Because you had lowest penalty rates.
It's interesting because we had a lot of defense on the team, and I'm normally like most comfortable, I'd say, on defense, but I had to play forward for those first 2 games. And with my cardio shape / being kind of a mediocre wingman, I don't want to say, and then after those 2 games, I switched back to defense. Our passing got a lot better. So I don't want to say that's the reason, but it could be one of the reasons.
Hey, and I know he probably doesn't listen to this show, but he probably does. But he probably doesn't. But I'd have to say you are probably still faster than Uncle Babers, right?
I mean, well, yeah, he knows that.
Yeah, but I just want him to know. I want to be on actual recording, saying like I took 6 months off, and I'm still faster than you.
Yep. So that speed is not his thing.
It's not his forte, but he's got a good shot. He's got a good shot, and he's got a great beard. So it's kind of
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, I wanna note the excess of mullets. Now you've been out in the world.
I have been
more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just a COVID thing? Is this coming back into style?
I don't
know.
know.
I swear, like, at least, like, 1 in 3 people at the tournament had a mullet.
They did.
And I believe you cut one off. Maybe
I did cut
there's
one off.
one less mullet out there.
I'm doing the Lord's work out there cutting off mullets. But you're right. And you know what's crazy? Like 5 of them ended up on the same team. So like how it seemed like your team was drafting for females. This other team was drafting for mullets. Some teams draft for beards. Some teams draft for height. And that team just wanted mullets. And you're right. I was thinking the same thing. Like, is this an anomaly, or are the mullets coming back in style? Now that the Oilers had a decent team, it seems like that correlates with mullets for some reason. Because I know a lot of people in Edmonton wear mullets because they think it's cool.
I think a lot of people in Edmonton just always had mullets. Like, it's not coming back into style. It's just never left.
Just other people are seeing them and they're like, oh, look, that team's in the playoffs and their fans wear mullets, so we should grow a mullet too. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's as good a guess as any. But you're right. I'm glad Go ahead.
Is it a COVID thing? Nobody got haircuts for however many months, and then you go back and first thing it's like, just take down the sides.
Yeah, I mean
that's what Uncle Babers did.
Oh, okay. So it was the hair just grew, but now I've grown it out. So now don't cut the length on the back. And I get that because I can't grow it. So I would probably, if I could grow long hair, I would probably have a mullet right now. I mean, that's
you could probably get a good skullet going.
I probably could, but it's funny that you mentioned that I cut one off because I did. And here's kind of how that went down. Like, people are like, how did that even come about? Well, let me tell you how it came about. I talk a lot of shit. My mouth is constantly running. That's the only good part about my game, is that my mouth just runs nonsense. And there was a guy, I saw 3 mullets just standing there. And I said, guys, you might have better hair, but our team's basically going to blow you out of the water. And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, well, bet me if you beat me, I'll grow out a skullet. But if I beat you, I get to cut off your mullet. And they were like, oh no, your team's way too good. Yada, 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 yada. And I was like, okay, well, I guess if you don't believe in your team, that's on you guys, not me. And they beat us. Right. And so they like most men with mullets, they got pretty full of themselves. Right. And before the championship game, old boy comes in and says, hey, I'll take that bet with you, but I don't want you to grow a skullet. I want you to wear an Arf and Annie wig. And I was like, all right, okay. Like, what? Yeah, I bet you didn't know I wanted to wear a wig anyway. Like, obviously you don't listen to my show. And so I was like, okay. And then we beat him, and I didn't think anything of it. And I'm in there getting dressed, and he walks in with a pair of rusty scissors and says, I'm a man.
I was going to say, like, the dullest kitchen shears I've ever seen.
They were literally like, remember like back in the 80s when you were in grade school and they had like the black handles and then just the metal scissors, but then they were rusted brown. They weren't even silver. Like it was bad. Like if I would have cut his scalp, he'd have to have a tetanus shot for sure. And he brought him in and said, hey, here's the deal. I'm a man of my word. And so go ahead and cut him off. And I was like, okay. And we got it on film and I did it. So I respect people that are a man of their word. I've made a lot of bets in Dex stuff. I've never lost a bet. And everyone's paid up so far. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
What'd you do with the hair? You should have braided it and kept it.
Did you see the video? I tried to put it on my head so it'd cover my bald spot. And then another thing to note in all of this, the Sunday Snakes, my snakeskin gloves, still undefeated. Yep. They've never lost a game.
Oh.
Never.
The Sunday snakes. I
Sunday-
didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, just like Tiger Woods has his Sunday
Yeah.
red polo, I got the Sunday snakes, and they haven't let me down yet. So,
Nice.
but anyway, so good times all around. You should come play with us again, April. I know you will.
Yeah.
But everyone else, we have a ton of tournaments coming. Like I'm in Denver this weekend. We have 2 weeks off, and we're in Austin for a BLPA bash. Oh no, I'm sorry, BLPA Fest. It's the one with the music festival and all that good stuff. And then starting in August, about the third week there in August, we're Oklahoma City, Chicagoland, Eagle River, Wisconsin, DC, Nashville, Cincy, and Charleston. So that's all in a row. So we have like 8 in a row, 7 in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm going to be.
As soon as my boy Justin opens up that border,
Yeah, what is going on with old Justin
I'm all
Trudeau?
up in there.
Like they
We
say.
don't need to get political.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm not getting
did you
political.
see
I'm
he
listening to the
shaved-
science.
Did you see he shaved his beard? Like, mistake.
Well, I haven't seen him without the shaved beard because when I go to the States, I don't care about
Oh.
Canadian politics until I come
True.
back. And listen, getting across the
Yeah.
border was easy yesterday. Like I literally, or Monday, I drove across.
Yeah.
They didn't ask me for my test. They
Really?
didn't ask me for my vaccine card. But you have to put all the stuff in Arrive Can, right? So he's just like,
Yeah.
I see you're vaccinated. I see the dates here. You've been back and forth. I've probably seen you 10 times. So, just go up there and
You're trustworthy.
yeah, I have that trustworthy face for sure.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
But he's like, go up there and get your test. And as soon as it comes back, you're done quarantine. And it came back in like 16 hours. And here I am,
Nice.
free as a bird, leaving out tomorrow. So,
You're out of quarantine?
yep, I got it because if you're double vaccinated,
Only-
you only have to quarantine until that first test comes back negative now.
Beauty.
Yeah, it's great. It's so awesome. I'm so stoked to be able to come back and forth instead of I like being on the road because I like being in different places and seeing different people, but I also like my wife and kid. Allegedly.
I hope so.
So-
I hope so.
So
Poor
all right.
Coop.
Yeah, for Coop. Okay. By the way, we didn't really talk about Beer League Talk much on the hop. Is there anything you miss about Beer League Talk?
I was going to say, I didn't know we were allowed to even mention it.
Well, I mean, I started.
I thought it would be like the show that shall not be named.
Well, I mean, I started it. I mean, you can go like if you can find episodes of it, all 200 of them. Like you're not going to hear anyone but myself on them with you and Danny or other people. So, I mean, whatever. So anything you miss about that show that I created and we did for 4 years that then was taken away from me that you miss?
Probably eating like tots every week.
Oh yeah, the barn Blaze Pizza.
Yeah, Blaze. Well, yeah.
I
I
want
don't know. It's been so long. So much has happened that my brain is just in a fog.
It's crazy because I was gonna ask you your favorite episode and we were talking about that. You're like, I can't even remember, and then I was like, but what was my favorite episode? Like I should remember
Yeah.
these. And I think you remember how we used to record in that little ass beer closet there
Yeah.
at the front there, and it was like it was probably gross. There's probably mold in there. That's probably why we were always sick.
Oh yeah.
But remember when we had like TJ and Misty in there and we talked about our first jobs?
That was pre-April, I
Oh,
think.
was it? Oh, okay. Well, that was probably
Yeah,
one of my
yeah.
because that's right. Because whenever I first had you on, it was a talk about your job and what you did and how it related to hockey and that stuff. And then it was like, we should just get April on full time, and then that's when it started. Yeah, because you came in like what?
Maybe
28 episodes.
maybe that
in?
was my favorite episode. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
April's debut.
Yeah, that
my
was.
favorite. No. What about? Well, I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about boner donors?
Oh,
that was
yeah,
pretty good.
the boner donor was a pretty good one. It was a pretty good one. Okay, well, since we're talking about boner donors, let's talk about a question we ask everybody, like at show or at tournaments now because we asked it on the show, and it's kind of gross.
Okay.
But we'll ask. Wait, you have a brother or a sister?
I have a brother.
Okay, brother. Okay, perfect. All right. Would you? Okay.
Oh no.
Would you
Okay.
would you rather have sex with your brother or everyone? Oh, would you rather have sex with your brother and no one knows? Nobody knows about it,
Oh God.
or you don't have sex, but everyone just assumes that you did
thinks that you did.
and always talks about it.
Oh.
Like family
And
functions.
always
like
talks about it.
Yeah, you're at Thanksgiving and they're like, God, I can't believe April fucked her brother. Like, and you're like, I didn't. And they're like, yeah, sure you didn't, April. Sure.
And they'll never ever believe you.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone just assumes you that
I
you
don't
did.
know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I don't think I could ever fuck my brother. So put that soundbite out there.
Yep.
This
just in, April would never fuck her brother.
I don't give a fuck what people think. So there you go.
Okay. Hey, that's an answer. Some people
What's
know.
your answer?
Yeah, I think
fuck your brother.
Well, mine
Sounds
was
like
mine was a sister, right?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
I didn't know you had a sister.
Well, I don't.
Do you have a sister?
No, I don't. But I mean, it's just like you don't want to make it one more hurdle to get. Cause now I'm having sex with a dude and I'm not into dudes, so that would be my brother. So I was like, I probably would just.
It sounds like all of Oklahoma have already had sex with your brother. So.
Well, he is such a cocksmith, a real ladies man.
Does he listen to this?
I don't know, but we'll find out. I mean,
hi, Jeannie.
She does listen to it. And by the way, Gina's my mom, just so everyone knows. But we don't do as many live shows, so she doesn't get to come in and comment as much.
Oh, she only watches on Facebook.
Yeah, it's because it's hard to do live when I'm on the road because the internet's so bad. But
yeah.
My answer was I'd probably do it because if everyone's always talking about it, like perception is reality in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but you can't say you would fuck a hypothetical sister.
That's why it's hard. That's why it's hard. I definitely would not fuck my brother. So it's kind of, so I mean, it's kind of one of those things. But it's and I also.
How can you tell you're from? Did you get this from Oklahoma?
No,
it seems like an Oklahoma question.
I'm not even the one that asked this question, April. But people have heard it on the podcast. And now they always ask it in locker rooms, and they try to come up with other gross ones. Like the big one this week was obviously I'm going bald, and we were just talking about the reality is that, and how the hell can we create a vaccine for this COVID-19 in such short time, but we can't create a cure for baldness. It's bullshit, and I think that something's going on. But then we were talking about like, what if like the COVID vaccine, did something that it wasn't supposed to, but it was good? Like, what if you found out if you took the COVID vaccine that it made your penis get bigger? Then everyone would take it. All the dudes would take the COVID vaccine for sure. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's weird how random stuff like this kind of gets discovered. Like obviously like penicillin, how it was discovered oddly. And so they're like, so someone then goes, okay, Nick, you're going bald. You want me bald. What if like you found that, what if you found that other male semen would make your hair grow back? Would you put semen on your hair to grow your hair back? And I was like,
could it be your own?
No, it's others. It's everyone but your own semen. If it was my own semen, all over it. But I think I would. I'm like, oh, can I put other people's semen in like a lotion? Put it up? Like,
do you have? Yeah, but if you're just putting it on your head, that's one thing. But like, you have to swallow it.
You don't have to swallow it, but then it came down to, but you do have to extract the semen yourself.
Hmm.
And I was like, so I'm having to jerk people off to have a full head of hair. I mean, it seems like a fair trade, but it is kind of gross.
The science of this is getting questionable.
That's what, because if it was just semen, I'd be like, yes. I'd be like, okay, do you want a discount on a draft experience? Just bring a bottle of your semen. I'd have like a year's supply just in the refrigerator. But if I'm having to actually go out and milk dudes to, grow my hair, then the science, like, why would it require me to get the semen myself? Like, that's just kind of weird. But
yeah.
So it's always weird conversations in the locker room, right?
I got one.
Okay, hit me.
Would you rather have a dick for a nose or a nose for a dick?
Dick for a nose or a nose? Well, how big is the dick on my nose?
I don't know.
And does my nose dick
about the same size?
Okay. So does my nose dick functioning?
It's all functioning.
Is it big enough to insert into a vagina?
Well, as big as any nose can be inserted in.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's listen, it sucks having a small dick, but it's like, well, at least I don't have
You can't ask all the questions. You just got to answer.
Oh, okay. But I mean, I have to come to some kind of reasoning as to why I would want this. I mean, I wouldn't want a dick just hanging off of my face, my life. So, but it would also suck to have a even smaller dick than I already have. So it's like, okay, whatever. I guess I'm going to have a nose dick. But if it was like, okay,
but at least you can hide your nose dick.
You're right. But what if my dick nose was huge, but then because I had a huge dick nose, I'd also have a huge, massive pant dick.
But then you're always smelling what's down. Like you're always like smelling your butthole essentially.
How would I
it's
always?
Right there.
Oh yeah, that's true. I just have to. I guess I just have to keep it clean, right? I mean, you'd have to really go above and beyond. I'd be like, okay, instead of just shitting and wiping, I'm gonna have to like shit, jump in the shower, make sure that thing's clean, because I don't want to smell my own booty hole all day. Right? Good one. Yeah. Hey, good fit for the show. Okay, moving on here. Let's talk about something that has to do with hockey. Maybe dick nose does have to do with hockey. I don't know. But what things that you see too often in beer league that just need to stop?
Give me one.
Okay. One thing that I keep seeing all the time, it never works. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
It's trying to take a shot on goal off the faceoff when you're in the offensive zone to the side of the goalie.
Yeah.
Like, when has that ever worked? Like, who saw that and was like, oh, that works, I should try it? Because everyone that tries it never hits the net. If they do hit the net, it's like this weak little rolly shot.
Like from center?
Pardon?
Take a shot on that?
Take a shot from
like
the face-off.
Centerman?
Yeah, like off the face-off, the ref drops it and he shoots, and it's like, when has that ever worked? Who did you see do that where it actually worked and you thought, you know what, I can do that? Because some guy did it to me every single time. He tried to do it probably 10 times in a period, and I'm like, you have not connected one time. Like, why do you keep doing that? I didn't say this to him, but I'm thinking in my head, like, why does he keep doing it? Like, an easy face-off win for me, which is I usually win face-offs. That's the only thing I can do.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why? Like, what goes through your brain where you think? Because sometimes I'll think, you know what? I go up and go,
getting pucks on net.
Yeah, I'm going to get a puck on net, 110%, pucks in deep, boys are buzzing, all that stuff. But then I go up there and I go, you know what? Why would I do that? It's not going to work. It's never going to work. Why don't I just win it back to my defenseman and then we have a better chance?
There's probably like a good strategic reason in certain situations to do that, but I highly doubt any, and I couldn't tell you what that is to you right now. And I highly doubt any beer league players have that knowledge or strategy behind it.
At our level, it's really the skill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like if you could get on net, go ahead.
Sorry, we're interrupting each other.
I was gonna say, if you could get it on net, if you can get it on net every time, I get it. You're gonna get it on net. It's gonna bounce off. But most of these guys can't connect with it in the first place.
Maybe it'll go.
Maybe.
Yeah, it'll bounce off. But actually mine, and it drives me fucking nuts, and I yell at my team all the time for doing this, is fucking drop passes. Drop passes you have to be so coordinated in having like set plays, and no one ever fucking does it. Nobody's ever ready for it. And it's always a turnover. It's just, you don't know what to do with the puck, so you just let it go to someone else and don't take responsibility.
And not to mention, like, when you're doing them, especially in draft experiences, like, there's no chemistry. Yeah. Like, they don't know you're getting ready to do that. Yeah. So usually the guy skates. I can remember the last drop pass I did.
And it's always a drop pass just over the blue line. Mm-hmm. Like, you just got it onside and you don't know, you can't make the move. And so you're literally passing the buck to somebody else.
Yeah.
And they're not ready for it. They're just trying not to go offside with you.
And I can remember the last time I did a drop pass in a game, and while I said I'll never do one of those again, I have the puck and I'm actually in the offensive zone down in the corner, and I'm skating towards towards our defenseman in our offensive zone, right? And I have a guy on my hip, okay? And so I go to curl, and Mike Fox is the defenseman. And I go to curl, and as I go, I'm like, okay, this guy's going to keep riding my hip pocket. I'm just going to drop it to Mike as I go by him. And we'll fucking, I don't know what we'll do, but it'll work. Well, I did that, but the guy on my hip took the drop pass all the way down and scored. And I said, I will never do that again. I'll just throw it back in the corner. But yeah, I get that. Drop passes always fuck up. Always. I don't remember one, unless it's high level guys, like just
unless you have practices and you know where to do a drop pass, or do it down in the corner as like a cycle for sure. Drop pass all day.
And you probably
don't do it.
You probably can't cycle. You probly can't cycle, but at least people think that you can.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a fake cycle.
I also have to announce a winner here. All right. We have our secret tweet of the day, right? So people that listen to any part of the show, when I tell them what to tweet, they have to tweet the BLPA and possibly myself. And if they do that, they're entered to win. And you know what it was last week? Letterkenny is trash. Letterkenny is trash. And
okay.
I had a number of people.
You don't like Letterkenny?
I liked the first episode or two, but then it was the same jokes over and over again.
Sure.
And then and then it just got old. And so now,
it's a controversial opinion.
It is. I mean, listen, hot takes only here. And that's my hot take. And you know what? People agree with me, or at least they want to win something, so they pretend to agree with me. And they actually I actually do agree with Nick that Letterkenny is trash humor. Hey, Letterkenny is trash. Nick, you're right. And here's the deal. I was afraid to do this, April, because I don't want to get in a tweef with the Letterkenny guys.
Yeah.
Especially when like these guys are like hardcore Flames fans too. Like we're bros, right? Because we're Flames fans.
Yeah.
We're and so but I gotta stay true to myself. You know me, I don't pull punches. I tell it how I feel. It is. And but anyway, so the winner this week is going to be, I'm just picking random, whichever one I land on here on my tweet. It's going to be Chris Lagan. Chris Lagan, you have won. I don't know what you've won. I do know what you won. You won a BLPA t-shirt. If you send me a DM over on the BLPA with your size and your address, I'll get it shipped out to you. What do you think people should tweet me this week, April?
The hashtag Dick Knows.
Ooh, Dick Knows would be good. Oh, actually, you hashtag it Dick Knows, but tell me what we should stick in April's box.
Dick Knows. Nose Dick.
Nose Dick. Well, I hope it's enough for you I hope it fills the box for you. I mean, it's always good when you get a Dick Nose and you can't even fill your own box with it. That sucks.
Yeah.
But tweet me. So tweet me at the BLPA. You can even add Nicker Jones in there and just say, hey, Nick, this is what I would put in April's box. And then hashtag it Dick Knows. Perfect. That's the thing. Hey, did you see April? Is there anything else that people should stop doing in beer league?
Probably drop passes and or mansplaining the rules to your timekeeper.
Yeah, I don't even know the rules half the time.
That's personal though.
That's a personal one for sure. I don't really know the rules. I argue with refs, but I don't really know. I almost got kicked out of the game, and I don't really even talk to the refs anymore. Like those days for me are over. Like I tell them they're handsome. I try to butter them up, but like this ref, like in a close game, he blows the whistle and says the net was off, and I'm standing right by the net, and I'm like, where is the net off? And he said, do you want to go sit for 2 minutes? And I was like, I don't know. I just want to know why the whistle was blown. That's all. Like, I don't know. But another thing that I like, but I don't understand really, and it's all the time in beer league is smelling salts.
Oh.
I like them. I get that rush, but it's like, what do they really do anything for us? It just reminds me of being at the swimming pool in the summer with all that chlorine and that stuff gets in your nose.
Yeah.
But people are like, do it, smelly as they pass them down the bench. And I'm like, I don't know. And now, like, it's just people are wanting to go back to pre-COVID and they want to pass like handles of booze around the locker room and just chug from them. And I'm like, listen, if you get me a cup or something, I'll drink, but I'm not putting my mouth on all.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't do that right now. Like it's too soon.
Yeah.
too soon.
Yeah.
And they get offended. People are like, what? You
Yeah.
won't drink it? You're a beer league guy. I won't even drink it. I'm like, I'll drink it, but I'm not going to drink it when your mouth's been on it. That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, granted, we're in Washington. It's all legal. Someone was passing around like a one-hitter at a certain point on our team. Not in the room, not inside. We were outside.
Yep.
And I was like, really? We're doing that?
Man.
And they're like, hey, you want some? I'm like, no. Like, normally I would be like, oh, yeah, sure. But no, can't do it.
Just can't.
Yeah, it's weird how things change. And I'm not going to lie, like, even, like, this is my first time, like, being, like, around more people than just, like, my family. Like, literally, I haven't been in a room with more than just, like, my parents for however many months. And I'm not going to lie, the draft party, I was just like, yeah, no one gives a fuck. Like,
Yeah. It's great. Well, it's in the States too,
and
right?
I thought, like, I don't know, and like right away you like hug people and like it's just like, oh, weird, because even like, I don't know if you watch TV shows where people are all crammed in together and right away you're just like, ugh, like you're just thinking of all the germs being like spewed onto you.
Yep. It's
just interesting how fast, like, yeah, nobody cares. Like, it's not, everyone's like, oh yeah, everyone will be changed forever. But I'm like, everyone's going to go back to the same old shit. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you see, I mean, it's in the States, right? And then like in Texas, it was almost like nothing was happening even last year.
It was never like that.
Yeah. And Oklahoma the same, but you know, I think that it's, I mean, there are some changes for sure, but you know, wasn't it nice to see people's faces though?
Yeah. And I was very worried. I was like, I don't know how to like have conversations anymore, but it all came back.
Yeah. I think, can you smoke weed and play hockey? April?
Can I personally?
Like, I mean, I guess you wouldn't know, but does it make you better or worse? Or, I mean, is it a thing?
Okay. I have a theory and I was going to try and test it out, but my weed pen died and I didn't bring the charger. Because years ago, back when we had practices, we all got high before practice. And I swore to God I was like the best. I played the best in my life. It was hard. It was a practice and it's hard to say how true that was or if I just felt really good. But I do like to partake before yoga.
Okay.
And I believe I am way better at yoga when I'm high. So I may have to test this out with more planning.
We should. Can we get it on video?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we should.
Absolutely.
This will be BLPA science, and we'll prove or disprove the fact that, because there was a dude that when I first started playing, his name was Deke Bodangles. Well, that wasn't his real name, but that's what we called him. And he smoked weed all the time, and he always looked like he was skating, like we were in slow motion and he was skating faster than us. And I asked him, he's like, yeah, I smoke weed because it makes everyone look like they're in slow motion. I'm like, oh, great. And then I was like, maybe
that's what it looked like to you, or that's what it looked like to him?
To him. So he's like, everyone else is moving in slow motion and I'm moving normal speed.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I should do that. But what would happen if I did it is I would then go in slow motion. Everyone would be faster. And I can't move any slower. Like I would be called sloth if I started smoking weed and trying to play hockey. But I was always curious. I mean, he's the only one I ever talked to that actively smoked weed and played hockey. And there's probably a ton of people I associate with that do that. I just don't know. He was literally like standing outside the rink in Oklahoma before it was legal, just toking it up and just like, ready to play some puck, dude.
Some people gets them to their baseline, but I want to do some more experimenting for sure.
All right, and then guess what, April?
See what it like.
And then after that, after we do this one, then we'll try cocaine. Because you'll be fast as fuck.
Well, I mean, look at Johnny Hockey. He's pretty fast.
Allegedly. We can't just go
Allegedly.
We can't just go out and pull that.
Allegedly.
Show, you know? April, you can't come back one show and get us sued. Holy shit. Hey, did you see that Randy flew back Southwest? He had 3 sticks in his stick bag, and they broke all 3 sticks in the same spot?
No.
Yeah. And then you know what they told him? sorry, if they're not in a hard case, we can't cover them. And we're like, who the fuck
No.
who has a hard case hockey stick bag? Nobody. No one even makes them.
How do you break 3 of them?
Three of them, not 2. So next thing they're going to say is, oh, you had 3, not 2. But then I know that the final line is going to be this. Due to the unprecedented times caused by COVID-19, what are businesses going to do when they can't fall back on that? That's my question. Like when they can't say due to COVID, what are they going to accept responsibility, or is it something else?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in this post-COVID world, we're having to adapt and change to what our lives were like 2 years ago. So I don't know.
Jesus.
Broke 3
That's
sticks.
insane.
Have you ever had your bags, your hockey stuff run by airlines? I mean, you've flown a lot, or considerably more than some people.
Not really. I've gotten my sticks not put on the plane before, but nothing. I mean, knock on wood, and I've left my sticks at the Park and Jet in Calgary one time.
Well, that's you, not the airlines.
Yeah, no, for sure. But that's like the worst that's ever happened.
I left my sticks at home once. Like I got to the airport and I was like, oh, here's my bag. I'm like, oh, here's my hockey stick. Oh, I didn't even bring my hockey sticks with me. So I think I was going to Vegas for like a premier hockey tournament, and I realized I had no sticks, and we had to source a stick. I've never had anything broke. I remember old Brett. Brett had like a Pacific rink bag that like got covered in like mud or something and ripped up, and they just gave him $300 to replace it. And then he went home and
replace it.
Yeah, he went home and cleaned it up, and it was good as new, and he just had $300.
Oh, nice.
Definition of a hoser.
Nice.
But yeah, so
yeah.
And I guess Southwest isn't going to replace it because I mean they don't charge for baggage anyway. So you can't even say, well, I paid you to get my bags there, because you really didn't.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
Can your like travel insurance, or I don't know, don't you have something on your credit card?
I mean, maybe and you know what sucks?
Because that's expensive to replace.
You know what's funny about he had a brand new, one of the newest Bauer sticks, $300 sticks that was given to us by our sponsor. And he literally got it after the last game on Sunday. So we never got to even play with it. And it was broken.
It's brand new.
It was brand new.
Oh. Well, could you not? Is there not like a stick warranty?
Well, I mean, I don't know if this.
I don't know if that covers airline travel.
I mean, I don't know if Bauer listens to our podcast, but I think there's a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge going on here with that kind of thing. But yeah, it's
hey Bauer, why don't you manufacture some sticks that can withstand airline travel?
Yeah, I mean it's just simple old airline travel, Bauer. You know, so yeah, but it is shitty. I hate getting stuff ruined, but I've never actually had anything ruined myself, other than like one time I had like a breakable piece in my hockey bag, and it was like my Bose like a speaker. And I don't know what happened, but it was smashed all to bits in the bottom of my bag whenever I got it. So,
yeah.
But that's probably I probably should have wrapped it up and put it in something else. So, but the sticks are definitely the airlines bags. So, all right. You got anything else, April?
I don't think so.
Does it feel good to be back on microphone/phone and on a podcast?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. So
it'd be nice to be in person. But
well, when you're back in Calgary and I'm back in Calgary, we'll get together and we'll do one in person. If you want to be on some more. I mean, obviously I miss you. I thought go ahead.
Of course, after our appropriate quarantine time, Government of Canada.
I mean, I only have to. Are you double vaxxed?
I am.
Okay, then we only have to quarantine until our first negative test comes back, which is 2 days.
Nice.
So after that, we'll do that. Thanks, Trudeau, for helping us out a little bit. But
thanks, Justin.
JT. But I mean, I thought we had a good thing. I'd like to get back to it and have you on some more. I mean, you make me laugh. You're funny, and obviously you'll do drugs and play hockey. So it's kind of weed. But I meant weed. I don't mean all the drugs. And I mean, it's always nice when someone lets you play in their box. So it's
Right on. Anything for you, Nick.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Remember, if you just go to Twitter, you can be entered to win something, but you got to find that phrase to put. It has something to do with putting things in April's box. I already forget, but go listen, go tweet us, go share us. Come play hockey with us mainly. We're going to do other things besides hockey. We have a golf one planned in November. We're working on soccer. We're working on lacrosse. So lots of things for all you adult athletes in air quotes. And April, it's so great to be talking to you again on a podcast. Hopefully we can do it again soon. Enjoy the States, and we'll chat with you soon.
Bye, guys.
Be good or be good at it. See ya.